Hello, everybody. Gary Stuckey here. Welcome back to another episode of Steve Perry News. Hey, I came inside. It's cold outside. Plus, it's dark now. So I'm inside where it's warm. It's Alabama. That's like 20-something degrees tonight. Can you believe it? It's colder here than it is in Montana. I'm just saying, that's crazy stuff happening. Things that you don't expect to happen sometimes happen. I'm just saying. And speaking of which, two guys from Journey that you may love. Schon, who I just did a video about his new album, Universe, which is being released the 1st of December, first week or so, I guess is what he's saying. And then, of course, Steve Perry, this Friday, his new alternative acoustic remix album will be released. Maybe some more surprises before then. Just have to wait and see, right? Those two guys, though, releasing music at the same time? Why? Some may ask. Coincidence? I don't know. Are they trying to, outdo one another? Some would say, Neil's trying to upstage Steve. I don't think so. But they have done that for the last few years, Steve came on American Idol at the same time Jonathan Cain released his book, Don't Stop Believing. Neil was talking about different things at the same time. Journey ended their tour about the same time as Steve released his album, Traces. So I called it, the Steve Perry movement. Got Martha Quinn involved in that. Named her the Queen. Started this whole hope that those guys would work something out. That's been the theme, even though I talk about Steve mostly. That theme that maybe those two guys will work it out. And a lot of people have stopped believing. But, in this time that we're living in, you just got to keep hoping that people will heal. We hope that for Eddie Van Halen, who unfortunately passed away. He never got a chance to play with Sammy Hagar, which I would have loved to have seen. But those two guys were okay at the end, so that's awesome. So, life is short. But those two guys, Neil and Steve, when they are together, it is magic. Magic fingers. And the voice. Neil's guitar soaring above everybody else, is what Steve said at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Soaring like an eagle. And Steve's voice is soaring. Right? So those two guys together would be phenomenal. Will it happen? I think it will. I believe it will. But if it doesn't, we still have the music. We have them separately at least. We have Neil's music. We have Steve's music. I'll take that. Right? And ever since Steve left the group the first time in 87, everybody was hoping they'd get back together. Then they come out with this box set in 91. It kind of stirred some things up within my heart. It was released on my birthday, December 1st. When is that? Oh yeah, tomorrow, 29 years ago. So awesome. And the hopes came true, of course, a few years later. We had Steve return to the band, and the band Journey reunited for Trial by Fire. 2 years after the release of For the Love of Strange Medicine. Raised on Radio was released 2 years after the release of Street Talk. Traces was released in 2018. 2 years later is now. Will something happen? I just don't know. But I hope. It would make sense. It would make sense that the promise that Steve, told his mom, he told his mom, she was dying and he didn't know if he should return to Journey. And all she could say was Journey. So he went back. And on his albums, in the notes, he says, he'll never forget the promise. The promise continues or something like that, Promise is continuing. So when Steve releases this album of his on Friday, December 4th, that's the day his mom passed away. I'm not saying this is definite. This is Steve saying this. I'm just wondering. I wonder. I think, am I overthinking? Maybe. But wouldn't it be cool if the promise continued? And this whole thing on December 4th was just in honor of his mom. It's a possibility. But if not, it's awesome to hear Steve's music. It's awesome to hear Neil's. I'm just saying there's a lot of things that could go that way, Neil was talking about Narada Michael Walden would be perfect for Steve, he said to Sammy Hagar a couple of years ago. You know, they were talking about that. He said, I got this guy that likes to play R&B, you know. And then, so, you know, could he have gotten up with Steve and did a song like I mentioned before? Neil's hinted around about it. Steve has too. May not happen, but I would hope. Then Neil got another guy, Randy Jackson, who was on Raised on Radio, played bass on that. He's back in Journey, you know. So is this happening for a reason? Are these two guys coming together just for their own, or you know, their own reasons, or is there something else going on? May not be anything. But I know this, it is my birthday. So please, if you don't do anything else for me, go watch my videos. Go watch that Neil Schon video. Don't be afraid. And watch all my other videos about what I've been talking about. Kind of do, you know, do this for me. Do like a watch party or something. And just go back and watch all these videos, because you may learn a few things and you may say, hey, maybe he's right. Or you might think I'm crazy. But either way, you'll be entertained and you'll have fun. And that's what it's all about. Plus, it's my birthday. Will I get a Christmas wish, a Christmas gift from these guys? I already have. Neil, new music, Steve Perry, of course, and some more surprises, I'm sure. So if nothing else, I get that. It's been a rough year. You know, my dad had, well, he fell and broke his back in like 3 places. He had to fuse his back together. They found 2 cancerous tumors they had to take out. And then he had radiation and chemo for a few months. He was just learning to walk, then he had a stroke. And he had to learn that all over, had to learn to talk again. But he's back, and he's helping me sing some songs. He's learning to walk again. He's doing a lot better. You know, so, I mean, things happen. All this pandemic, you know, and the political whatever going on in the world, it's just time, you know, I think, for people just to put all their differences aside. It'd be awesome for those two guys to get together, and for the fans. It just, talk about healing, like Neil said, for this Christmas, that would be total healing. We all need healing. It's been a rough year, and my friend Pam that passed away, she was such a big fan of Steve and Neil and Journey, and had the hopes of them working together, and you know, so that's my birthday wish, Christmas wish. I'm going to hold on to that, you know. That's my hope, that we can all get along. Those guys can get along. You know, they can do what they want to do. But, you know, I just can't stop believing. Until next time, everybody, this is Gary Stuckey. God bless you.